After a fairly long wait, a new cable and sensor for my Cadxx Turtle version 2 finally arrived from Banggood, and what I noticed straight away is that they'd redesigned both the connector and the sensor. So the connector now has the same pins as the pins that go onto the board. In other words, they stick out. The original one, which I've got here showing you on the clamp, had a flat piece attaching to the sensor board, which was very difficult to connect. In fact, it would come off quite easily, so I was never sure if I'd properly secured it. So I'm glad that I ordered both the sensor board and the cable, because they go together. So the old one was labelled, looks like the 14th of January 2019, while the new one was mid-May. So that's why there's a bit of a wait while they did the redesign. But they clicked together beautifully, so I had no problem putting the new sensor in or the new cable. The only hassle I had to take the nuts on the bottom of the iFlight CineBee to remove the Cadxx board to get at it to unclick the original connector. But that wasn't too bad once I got into it, dealing with tiny parts. Much more of a hassle than messing around with the Bugs 3, but hey, you do what you have to do. So, another look at the old cable. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a decent close-up focus to show you the subtle difference. Well, it's not so subtle, it's quite clear that it's been a redesign. And here we are, getting out on the back deck for a flight. This particular flight was line of sight. I later did a FPV flight, and that's the one where I broke off one of these incredibly fragile propellers on the set of black propellers after losing on the Gemflan ones early on. But encouraging. So I'll certainly stick with it and let you know how I go from here. So here we are, getting ready to fly. I toned the sound down fairly soon because it rapidly gets irritating. But it's nice to have a record of it. And also you can see what I'm getting on the display. This is recorded from the goggles, the Unway goggles I use. So you can see the arming sequence and the stats you get. And all this other stuff that I thought I'd never need to see on the screen. So there we go. So having sorted out the Cadxx camera problems, where am I now? I'm stuffed with props. I lost one of these Gemfan things, flew off. Then, as other people have found out, these black things are incredibly fragile, so they're the ones I flew with for the good video. So the next trick was, when they broke, was to go to a set of props that I'd taken off this ill-conceived attempt to build a larger whoop. But I've got problems with those too. They tend to come off, and I've now filled them with super glue, which is pretty hard to drill through to set the thing up properly. So once again, I'm in waiting mode. I've got some good props, gem fan type things on order, and I'll give you another update when they come through. But it's been a bit of a hassle, but I'll persevere with it because I think it's worthwhile. Till next time, happy flying.